Hi and welcome back. I am out here in the garden. As you know, this is like my favorite place to be. And today I am harvesting our garlic. And this is all extremely new to me, but I have a massive garlic harvest. I say massive. It's massive for a family of 5. It's a lot of garlic. Back in October, we planted, I had to pull up and see what I planted. 4 pounds of Parisian star garlic, and I did some small, it was just a random small bulb for planting and eating. They just give you a little bag of that. So it was quite a bit of garlic. Now, I won't keep all of that garlic to eat. I will be putting some aside. I'll probably put aside another, I'm thinking I'll put aside 6 pounds of garlic to plant for next year. At least 4. We'll see how much I end up getting off of this and what it looks like. But I'm going to have to figure out where to cure it. I've got a couple ideas. I was thinking about putting it in the greenhouse, but I don't have a way of ventilating it. I cannot put it in the pavilion because we have bears that come walking through here, and I don't want to take the chance of them. I don't know that they'll eat it, but they may get into it and destroy some of it. Trying to figure out if they want to eat it. And so I'm thinking I'm just going to set up another rack and do it next to the onions that I pulled about a week and a half ago. I planted all of this garlic back in October, and I'm also going to show you how I flip the bed. All of these beds have compost down already. So last year I did not do the till cardboard compost method that I did to the new beds this year, and I can totally see the difference in the weed pressure. When I show you the garlic, you will just see the amount of weeds is out of control. And I have gone through here and weeded it multiple times and mulched it multiple times, but there's just so much pressure there. So I am going to show you how I did the cardboard method. I'm going to lay the cardboard down. I am not going to use compost this time. What I'm going to use, and what I've been using to kind of amend my beds and fertilize my beds, is I literally scoop from the goat and chicken pen. It sounds gross, but it's phenomenal fertilizer for these plants, and I think that has been making a huge difference in the garden this year as well. And then I do a heavy layer of mulch on top of it. So I'm going to be doing that with this garlic bed. That is the plan today. We'll see how far I get. The kids are at grandma's, so hopefully I've got a little time here of knocking this project out. Alright, my big camera died, so back on my phone. I am pulling these here on this outer row. I'm pretty sure these are that small little bag that I bought. Back when I bought this garlic, it was, you know, everything was in demand. So I had to really take what I could get. So I don't know if this is the most ideal garlic for our area, all of that. I just did the best I could with what was available. So these are a little smaller. I'm not sure if it's because they are that just random bag, or if it's the Parisian. Parisian has a purple like husk outer papery layer, so I'll be able to tell the difference when I pull it all. But that's where I'm at. That was a good sized one. I'm just pulling them, weeding this bed, and giving it a little tap as I go. See how far I really get today. But I really do think this is that random bag that didn't have a variety name on it. It just said a small variety for planting and eating. I figured some garlic was better than no garlic. Am I right? I'm sure a lot of you can agree with me on that one. Now, we know the garlic is ready because the stalk, the last leaves on the stalk are dead. And some of these, like the entire stalk, looks dead. So this is like our really only sunny day. So I decided today was the day I needed to get it pulled. Now this one's got a purple husk on it, so I don't know. We'll see. I'm not one of those that's super picky, so I'm just happy to have it, and I'm just happy to not have to buy it from the grocery store and be dependent with that. So in my mind, anything that I get is a win-win. I'm not growing commercially, I'm not growing for other people, I'm growing for ourselves, and yeah, I don't have to deal with being picky. It's just a blessing no matter what I get. Yeah, it's a pretty good size one. I don't think these were super big. My husband cracks up over the Kajari melons. He's like, why are you growing all this weird stuff? Just grow normal stuff. I'm like, because that's the fun of gardening, is you get to grow stuff that you don't normally get to try and see. And it just, I don't know. I want my kids to grow up with that experience. The good news is these weeds are pulling out so easy. Oof. That one's a little special. Some of these are special, but I don't think the weed pressure was working in their favor either, as much as I tried. If I knew then what I know now. But that's the great thing, is next year, next time, it'll be better. That one's pretty good size. And you know what? The kids helped me. I did a video on us planting this garlic and the kids helped. So there's really no telling really what's what. Sometimes that gets a little chaotic, but that's okay. It's not a complaint. I'd rather it be unorganized and chaotic, knowing that they had a hand in it, than it being perfect and they want nothing to do with it. So it's just gonna be a lot of figuring out what's what, but that's okay. I'm redefining this bed because weeds have kind of taken over. So I have this sawdust that I was going to use as a mulch in the garden, and I was told absolutely don't do that. I guess when it gets wet it can cake and get really hard. So I don't know. I'm just going by what I was told, and I'm not taking any chances. It might be okay. But what I thought I would do is use it as a perimeter for the bed, since obviously I'm on the edge of this pasture. Weeds encroach in pretty quickly, so I'm just going to use it as a barrier and still put my cardboard up to it, but hopefully it'll help keep weeds from encroaching on the bed. Anyway, I don't know, we'll see. I'll never really want to go any wider than this in this spot, so I don't know. It's all an experiment. It's all a learning curve. So I'm just going to do it in this one spot and see how it goes. Next step, lay the cardboard down. It's pretty easy. But I'm telling you, it is worth the extra steps. Next is the dirtiest, stinkiest part. I take the manure and droppings from the chicken and the rabbits and the goats. Now, goats and rabbits is manure that you can just lay right on your garden, right on your plants, and it won't burn it. Chicken will need to sit for a little while. I am not planning on planting anything in here right away anytime soon. If anything, it might just be garlic again this fall. I'm not really sure what I'll end up putting here, but anyhow, I am going to just go ahead and prep and amend the bed and have it ready to go so that it doesn't become infested with weeds. So I'm just going to kind of mix this bucket up here a little bit. I don't want one spot to just be chicken. Lay it out. I have a 5-gallon bucket, so that should be more than enough. It will also lay down the cardboard. It's kind of wet because it rained last night. Oh, it smells. It smells like chickens. It's okay if it's not perfect and even, because I'm going to put the hay from the animal barn on it, which is full of lots of this good stuff too. So it'll all get where it's supposed to go. I'm not super worried about it. Perfection is not what we're striving for. Now, by the time I'm ready to use this bed, I have complete confidence that this cardboard will be broken down enough that it's not going to interfere with planting. Even if it's there, I'll just cut a hole in it, but it will have been rained on and moisture that it's not really going to interfere with planting. Anyway, that is that. I'm gonna go grab my kids from Grandma because I'm sure she's like ready for me too. Oh, there was a bee in that flower I picked. It didn't sting me, but there was definitely a bee in it. I'm gonna go grab my kids and clean up my mess and go cool off because it is hot. It's not nearly as hot as it is up north, but it's a doozy today in North Georgia. So, all right. It took me 3 days, not in a row, but 3 different days, a few hours each day to harvest all of my garlic. So I will show you where it's curing. I will leave it cure for at least 2 weeks. I did this with the onions that I harvested. I put them in the same spot and I did that for 2 weeks and they look fantastic. So this is just like where we park our ATVs at. And rain does not get in here. It stays pretty dry. It's not super hot in here. And so this seems to be working out really well. I have a box fan that's usually on that I blow just to keep air circulating. So I did it a few different ways. These, which is the Parisian garlic, I cut the tops off, obviously, and the roots, and I just kind of rubbed it like this, just to get the dirt off of it. And then I also just left it dirty, left the roots on, left the stalks on, and laid some out and hung them. All of this, from what I researched, was the right way of doing it. It doesn't look like one is better than the other. I just was running out of room to lay it all flat. So I thought this would be easier. And then when it's cured, it can just go in the pantry. Also keep in mind, you want the paper on it. That's what helps protect the cloves. So you've got this outer layer of paper, and then inside on the cloves obviously is another layer of paper. And you want to try to keep as many layers on your clove or your bulb as possible, because that's going to help protect it. That's also what you need to dry out as well. So it does take a couple weeks. See, this one's pretty dirty, but if you just kind of rub it, the dirt comes off. And now you can start to see the, the paper poking through. So, I felt like a garlic video wouldn't be complete without showing you how not only harvesting it, but what to do with it after. Because what's the point in showing you how to grow it if you don't know how to use it and how to store it and how to preserve it? Hopefully you'll be throwing all of this in your salsa and your spaghetti and whatever you're cooking throughout the year, but making sure that the garlic is cured will ensure that you can use it all throughout the year. And it's just as simple as getting some racks and laying it all out there for a few weeks and making sure it's got the proper environment to be able to cure. So you don't want it in the direct sunlight. You don't want it in a really hot place. You don't want it in a lot of humidity if at all possible. You could do it in your house, but again, it smells like garlic, so that might bother some people. That's one reason why I keep the fan on. It keeps air circulation. It keeps the moisture down. This is a really dry, covered area that it's in, so there's no problems there with that. So you can see it's not anything super complicated or really hard. For me, it was a matter of trying to find a good spot to do it. I thought I was going to have more garlic than I ended up with. A lot of the bulbs were really tiny, like this. So that's okay. They're still edible. It just, makes for less of a garlic harvest. But all in all, I'm very satisfied with how it turned out and what our harvest looked like this year. I tried growing garlic one other time before. It just did not go well. This went so much better, but it's been one of the funnest things to grow this year was the garlic. We planted in October, it sat all winter, and then we were here in July able to harvest it. So thank you so much for watching and following along. May the Lord bless and keep you. Until next time.